All right, wonderful. Okay, so for all of you who are joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's Tuesday training. My name is Alicia Lytle. I am also known as Lady Pastorpreneur, and this is going to be done in furtherance of helping all those who have joined me on my health and wellness journey with Plexus to excel. And so tonight I'm going to be sharing with you guys some things that I learned while I was on the Leadership Retreat. As you know, the Leadership Retreat just concluded in Orlando, Florida. It was at the Gaylord Resort and Convention. We got there on Thursday, we left on Saturday, and it was a tremendous time of not only just relaxation and enjoyment, but also of just being poured into and given tools and strategies and tips from top leaders, not only in our company, but worldwide, that have so much experience on leadership. And I'm just grateful that I was able to come and to be imparted into. And so now my desire is to share that information with you. So a large part of what you're going to get is going to come from what I learned in my session with John Maxwell. As you know, John Maxwell is really the foremost authority in leadership as far as my mind goes. I truly love his work, and I have found it to be so eye-opening and helping me on my path of leadership. And so most of you are familiar with this book. This one is The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. And coincidentally, it is the book that he used and taught from in the training. So then there were also some other speakers, and then one of our speakers was the president of Plexus, Alec Clark. So I also have some things in my notes that come from his portion. So for the most part, as I'm sharing with you, I'll try to give credit to who originated that thought, but for the most part, these are not my own ideas, and I do not claim credit for them, but I am simply relaying to you as my team and as those who are joining us because they feel that this may be beneficial for them and their teams. I do want to make sure I give credit where credit is due, and I will try my best to share with you throughout the training where those thoughts and ideas originated from. But I will share with you something that is original, something I came up with and created, and that is I did decide that if I was going to share this information with you guys, that I wanted to make it, a little bit organized. So I came up with a little acrostic so that I could decide which points would be the best points. Obviously, there were several days of training, and we're going to cover it all in about 15-20 minutes. So I had to pull some bullets out. I like to call them my takeaways. I shared them in like 4 minutes or less in another meeting that I did with the larger team that we have on Team Momentum. So if you saw that, you may have like a little teaser, but I'm going to go more in depth tonight. So don't feel as though this is going to be repetitive. We're going to go a lot deeper tonight. And I'm hopeful that we will also have a lot of time for question and answers. So if you're not on Zoom, I will try to peek over when we get to the question and answer period and see if there are questions that need to be answered that are coming from Team Excel in the Facebook group. All right, so to get started, what I want to do is I want to break down E.M.P.O.W.E.R, E.M.P.O.W.E.R, E.M.P.O.W.E.R. That was the theme for the conference, and it was something that really was revolutionary because a lot of times for the letter E, I use that word empower because that really is going to be the focus from here on out for what I want to do with you as members of Team Excel. I want to empower you. And what I learned is empower is giving you the power to come up with solutions. It's empowering you. It's giving you the skills and the tools, the abilities, not so much doing things for you as much as empowering you, enabling you, giving you all of the information and tools you need to come up with the best solution. And it was great because in this particular part, it was shared with us an example. Marianne did this, and she shared with us the business model for Nordstrom, for example. And she gave us the example of how she had a problem at the store, and they had managers, and the managers were empowered to come up with solutions. So her situation was something that was, bad, but because they had been empowered to come up with a solution, they fixed it. I think they brought her, the clothes to her home. It was something that was a bad situation, but they were able to reverse it because those managers had the power and they were equipped with the resources that they need in order to be able to come up with the solutions for the customers. And so that's really, a good business model. We want to be all equipped, all in a position that when there is an issue or when there's a problem, whether it's a problem with a customer or a problem with someone that's on the team, that you don't feel like you have to go to a specific person or a specific place, but that you yourself have the knowledge and the ability to bring forth the resolution. Now, of course, if you need some brainstorming, we're still a team. So you'll still be able to come to me and say, hey, Alicia, how would you go about this? Hey, Alicia, how would you handle this? And then I can be able to give you some ideas, some suggestions, make you aware of some resources that you might not be aware of that we have in our back office. And then as you are tapping into those things, the goal is that you will be empowered and emboldened, and you will develop confidence so that the next time you have an issue, you feel like, I got this. She walked me through this. I remember how we did this, and we get it done. And that's key, because that's different than someone doing everything for you. And then you really don't gain any power. You really don't gain any confidence. And then you really become dependent on them, because now, since you don't know how they fixed it, every time you have that problem, you have to go back to them. And so you always feel dependent upon them for your success. So I really appreciated them laying out for us that the framework for us as leaders is to not handicap our team in that way, but to truly take the time. And that's what it is. Sometimes it takes more time to stop and explain to someone what they need to do to get the solution, rather than to just do it for them. Because by doing it for them, you can get done with it quicker. But then that person is not empowered. And so for us, it's more important that it's not about expediency. What is going to empower you? What is going to give you the confidence and the skills that you need so that next time around you can do it and you'll have the confidence that you need. So I thought that was key. And that's my E. M was momentum. Momentum. Now this part I'm taking from John Maxwell. And he taught us, again, along the same lines, that managers try to solve problems. And that was one of the first things I learned when I was in a direct sales company, is that as leaders, we do not want to fall into management mode. We're not managers, we're leaders. And that it looks different. And it's important for us to understand the difference so that we can be effective leaders. Managers are always, trying to fix things, trying to do things themselves, and, trying to delegate and telling people, okay, well, you do this and you do that. But leaders are very different. So I want to kind of talk to you about that, so that as you're developing as a leader, you can make sure you're not slipping into manager mode and that you really are functioning as a leader. But as it pertains to the point of momentum, I want to get this part out before I break down that distinction of managers and leaders. The momentum is key, because while managers are busy trying to solve problems, leaders are busy creating momentum, and momentum will solve the majority of problems. So that is important for us to remember. We need to develop momentum in our business. We need to have energy. And once you get that energy, once you get that momentum, it's important to keep it going. And once that momentum is going, it will begin to resolve a lot of the things that seemed like they were issues. They will be gone once that momentum is created. What happens as a result of that? Well, you're going to get better team morale. You're going to get better. You're going to draw people who are more in line with the vision that you have for the business. And then you're going to get better results as a result of that. So momentum is key. You want to create momentum for your business. Then you want to produce. That's what the letter P is going to stand for, produce. This is key, y'all. And this is why manager mode is not good. Manager mode is, kind of sitting back and telling everybody else what they need to do, but you're really not doing a whole lot of that yourself. That is very dangerous, because if you slip into manager mode and you are not actively involved in working your business, if you don't actually have, the IPA and you're working yourself, it's going to be hard for you to lead a team and motivate them to do so. The way John Maxwell explained it, he said, productivity gives you credibility. So without the productivity, if you're not producing, then you really lack the credibility to be leading. Did you catch that? Without the production, without that productivity, you really lack the credibility that is necessary to lead others. So this is where we make the distinction, the manager versus the leader, which he gave an excellent analogy, is similar to a tour guide versus a travel agent. Now let's think about that for a second. When you are a tour guide, you are actually a part of that journey. You're there with the people. You're showing them the attractions. You're telling them the history. You're saying this is this and this is that. And you're leading them and you're guiding them and you're taking them along the way. Versus a travel agent, the travel agent is just giving you the instructions and it's just sending you where to go. Quite frankly, they probably are sending you places that they themselves have never even been to, but they just have some information in a booklet and they're sending you there. We are challenged as leaders to be that tour guide, to be hands-on, to have already been productive, to have already accomplished certain things, and then to take our teams and lead them and guide them and show them how to get to those places as well. Versus being a travel agent, having no productivity, not having accomplished anything yourself, not having, reached any goals, but then trying to give other people directions on how to do that. Does that make sense? Follow me, talk to me in the chat, and let me know that you're following these points. Your personal success will qualify you to lead others, because leaders should be able to say, follow me, I know the way, and I can lead you there. So that's what we're really working on. We're really working on learning, being productive. I always tell leaders, I get on leaders, emerging leaders, people who are going for silver. I really kind of get on you guys. I'm like, you know what? Are you active already? Why aren't you active? Because for me as a leader, I try to be active on the first day of the month. Yes, you heard me, the first day of the month. And my deadline to be commission qualified is the 15th of the month. Because as a leader, that's what I want to see from others. I don't believe in asking other people for what I myself am unwilling to do. So I try to set that example. I try to make sure that I always have certain goals met, so that when I try to inspire you, that I'm not asking you to do something that I myself have not done or are unable to do. So I'm hopeful that you as leaders will start to, good, thank you, Jenna. I'm hoping that you as leaders will begin to develop those types of ethics as well, that you yourself are saying, I've got to be on my game. I've got to go silver every month, or I've got to recruit somebody new every month, or I've got to have, 500 PV every month, or I've got to have 1,000 PV every month. Whatever it is your goal of what you would like to see your team do, I would strongly encourage you that those are the things that you should be doing now, so that you will attract those people. So I'm getting ahead of myself. That's actually one of the points. So let me move on to and let me check and see how I'm doing on time. Okay, yeah, I'm doing okay on time. Good. All right. So O is ongoing. Ooh, ongoing is key. Let me tell you why ongoing is key, because another common pitfall we found is that leaders can reach a goal, and then when they get there, they can kind of sit back and say, oh, I've arrived. There's no need for me to do anything else. There's no need for me to go any higher. I'm there. I've reached my goal. I've gotten to the place I want to be, wonderful. So, okay, that's fine. But if you do that, you're not hitting the O. The O is ongoing. This is something that you should continue to do. This is something that you don't say, okay, I made it, I arrived, I'm good, I don't have to worry about this anymore. This is something that you continue to do on and on and on. And this is what I like about Plexus. And one of the things that really supports this bullet point, and that is when you reach the top of the comp plan, you have the opportunity to re-enter and to start working back up through the ranks again. And that is really phenomenal. It's very unique. And it's also designed to make sure that it is ongoing, that you always have an area that you can continue to not only improve in, but you can elevate. So that's key, ongoing. And then so John Maxwell also shares in this particular area that you have to realize that leaders have to be developed daily. This is more so in a cooking type of analogy, a crock pot style of cooking, not a microwave type of cooking. So one frustrating point for new leaders is, okay, Alicia, I watched your video. I've been doing this for like 2 days now, and like no one's joined my team. Well, it's not a microwave system. This is an ongoing daily development that we have to work on. And over time, we're going to see a change, or we're going to see better results. So what I don't want you to do is to get frustrated or to get discouraged because you don't see it happening right away and you don't see results right away. It's ongoing. And for what you're looking for the results you want, for the outcomes that you are trying to achieve, you've got to be willing to put in the time and let it marinate and let it take the course that is necessary to get those results. So think crock pot, not microwave. The next point is W, and I'm going to make that well, W-E-L-L, that there are some things that we need to learn how to do well. And that first thing John Maxwell shared with us is that we do need to learn how to listen well. That was an eye-opener for me. I like to talk. I like to talk. And so I realized that sometimes in being the person that's speaking, you don't hear as well because you're talking. So for those of you who share that desire to talk, you've got to also learn how to listen. Leaders know how to listen. We have to be able to hear what people are saying. What is your team saying? What is your person that you're working with saying? And are you listening? Are you hearing the deeper issues? Are you hearing the deeper concerns? Are you paying attention to what information is coming to you? You have to be a good listener in order to be a good leader. That's one. The second thing is you have to be able to observe well. Again, sometimes if you're talking, you're not observing. Sometimes you have to quiet yourself and watch and observe and see what's manifesting and see what's taking place, because not everyone's willing to say. But even if you can't see it or hear it, you can see it. You can watch and observe and learn things that you may need to gain or gather in order to be a better leader and to lead your team. And then the third thing is, and I love this one. Now, this one I haven't had any problems with, but some people do. So whichever one of the three that you want to work on or need to work on is key if you want to build a good organization and a happy and a healthy and a vibrant team. That third thing is leaders have to learn how to serve well. Serve. And that is a common misperception. Many people want to be leaders because they think that means that they're going to not have to serve. And people are going to serve them. People are going to, worship them or bow down to them or do the things that they want them to do, or their goal is to please them and to make them happy. And I've seen it both in, a variety of industries, not just in network marketing, but in other areas in which I serve. But as a leader, in all of those capacities, I know that my biggest responsibility is to serve others. So I'm always looking for, what can I do to help you? What are your goals? What do you need this month? How can I help you achieve that this month? And so if you don't start off with that mentality, leadership is going to be hard for you, because leadership is servanthood. It's servanthood. And so that's why it's always so joyful for me to work with other people who have that mindset that I am a servant, that I am here to help other people accomplish their goals, whether they're a customer or whether they're a team member. I'm here to help my customers reach their health and wellness goals. I'm here to help my team reach their health and wellness goals, as well as their financial goals. So I'm here to serve. What can I share with you? What can I teach you? What can I train you? How can I motivate you? What can I do to serve others? And if you're not developing a desire to do well in those three areas, then your leadership is going to suffer as a result, as well as your team. Okay, so those were the three things that we have to master doing well to be good leaders. All right. E, there's a second E, and I like the second E, and it is earn. I decided to make it earn because the thing that I saw at that leadership from beginning to end is that we're in a company that has a compensation plan that allows us to earn in so many ways. Of course, we know there's, all the different ways to get paid. But even at the leadership retreat, I saw things that were a form of earnings. For instance, there was a $3,000 shopping spree to Bloomingdale's. And I was laughing about it because they were showing the people in the videos shopping with their little champagne glasses and, their families, and going through Bloomingdale's with their personal shopper. And I was cracking up, y'all, because I'm going to tell you a secret. There's one thing, pretty much have everything that I want, but one thing I don't have that I want. And it is a pair of red bottom Louis Vuitton shoes. And the ones I want are about $3,000. So I was laughing because I was thinking to myself, they would be cracking up at me because I would be done shopping like in 20 minutes. And they would be like, Alicia, aren't you going to shop? I'm done. Where are your bags? Right here. One pair of $3,000 shoes. And that's probably the only way I'm going to do that, is when somebody else is going to be buying them for me. But I'm telling you, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want a $3,000 shopping spree for free? Come on, y'all. That's some significant earnings that we're leaving. We're leaving money on the table if we're not pursuing that. Then they had the trip to Disney World. There were people who earned the trip to be able to go with their family to Disney World, and that was paid for as well. And if you've ever had to pay to take your family to Disney World, that's a significant perk. That's a significant benefit. We're leaving that money on the table too. And now we have to go pay out of our pocket for our family vacation, where we could have had Plexus pay for it. So that's an earnings that we need to pursue. So there's that. And then, like I said, there was the trip itself. That was paid for. It was significant, the money that they paid. And then my check itself was significant. I had a promotion, so I had the bonuses from the promotion. I mean, y'all, the earning potential that we have when we paid that $34.95, it's incredible. It's really incredible. It's unlike what you might be imagining. I mean, there are women who have retired their husbands, meaning they make enough money that not only do they not have to work, but that their husbands no longer have to work. Let me take a deep breath, and let me not get too excited on this point. There's a lot of money to be earned, and not for the sake of just having more money, but think about what that money accomplishes in your life. What would that do for you? What would it mean for you if you never had to worry again how you were going to pay your mortgage or how you were going to pay your rent? What would it mean for you if you have children in college and you didn't have to worry anymore when they called for books or when they called for help with their tuition. Or if you have kids that are little and they have tuition from their schools, their elementary schools, their private school, or they're in a parochial school, or if you didn't have to worry when they want to play a sport and it's going to cost extra, or they want to do ballet, or they want to do karate, or you want to do something. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe there's an unfulfilled dream or desire. Maybe you want a new car. We have a plan where you can earn a Lexus when you hit a certain rank in our company that the company pays for. So instead of you taking money each month to pay for your car note, no more. The company pays your car note. So the earning potential is significant. And so I think it was clear to me as I saw how many people were top earners, that this is not an illusion that you're chasing, that they're real live people that I touched, that I talked to, that I know, not some people in a brochure that don't exist, but I mean real live men and women that I was able to break bread with, that are just like you and me, that have their flaws, have their drawbacks, have their shortcomings, have their weaknesses, but they still found a way to be successful in this business and to allow it to meet the needs that their family has. I'm talking incredible, guys. So if we want that, we can have that. Now, there were a couple points that I was given. Let me check my time. Okay. Oh, man. I think I want it to be done at 9:30. Okay, let me rush. So there was a couple of points that were given by Alec Clark as to how to do that. So let me just share that with you really quick. I won't elaborate on them so I can get to the last point and you guys can ask questions. But he said, in order to become happy, centered, and successful people who will earn as a result of that, he said, don't make exceptions to your standards. He said, smile, be disciplined, live the golden rule, don't complain, keep learning, look up, set goals, be humble, and serve others. A lot of duplication of what you've heard me say so far from John Maxwell. That's one thing I will tell you. You will hear the same things over and over and over again, no matter who you talk to. And that's confirmation of what we have to focus on, guys. So then the last part is R, recruit. I know that's an area that scares some of you guys. I have a lot of you who just, when I say recruit, you say, oh, no. Recruiting is going to expose you to more of those earning opportunities that I've talked about. And I have seen in my own personal business that sharing the products is definitely a wonderful stream of income. But in order to really tap into the fullness of our compensation plan, and in order to really help the greatest number of people, you really need to be willing to recruit, because even if you don't care about the extra income, there is someone that you know who does. There is someone that you know that needs this opportunity, that this could be the difference between their family getting a divorce. The financial stress in their household could be at a point that you don't even understand. That this could be a point of breakthrough for someone else. And so while you're thinking, oh, I don't want to tell them, I don't want them to think this, I don't want them, you may be holding up their breakthrough by not sharing this business opportunity. So I really want to push you out of your comfort zone and say to you that this recruiting piece needs to become a part of all of our daily businesses. Not just, those of us who, want to go to Leaders Retreat and, just consider ourselves. There's a leader in all of us. And I've said that to someone, they look up to you. They value your influence, your input, and they would greatly benefit from being able to learn from you, even if you don't feel like you know a whole lot, and grow with you and reach their goals. So I really want to challenge you to recruit and recognize that you are going to attract who you are, not who you want to be. And that's important to remember, because sometimes we're like, oh, I want this person and I want that person. And, you know, I just really see myself having a team of people who are X, Y, and Z. And you really have to just say, well, wait a minute, am I that person? Remember what I was saying earlier at the beginning? You know, I make it a point to do what I want to attract. So if I want people on my team who are commission qualified every month and have 1,000 PV and are recruiting 2 or 3 people every month, then I have to be that person. So I have to go silver every month. I have to hit, you know, the PV goals. I have to do that if I want to attract that kind of person, people. So I want to give that to you as a major point for those of you who are really getting frustrated, like, why isn't anyone joining my team? And why can't I recruit? And why can't I just start off by you being the absolute best that you can be, super productive, super successful, smashing your goals, and you're going to start to attract other people who want to do that as well. Okay? So that is empower. Empower others, make momentum, produce results, make it ongoing, focus on doing well, earn the income and perks you desire, recruit and help others do the same. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording now. This concludes the training that I have for Tuesday, my Tuesday training for Team Excel. Again, my name is Alicia Lytle. If you happen to have stumbled upon this webinar and you're not actually on our team but would like to do so, I invite you to go to bit.ly/I.am.Plexus and get started with us today. Again, that's bit.ly/I.am.Plexus and get started with this amazing team today. Thanks for tuning in, and we are ready to see you excel.